Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Danganronpa. We're investigating the death of Chihiro Fujisaki. We're pretty sure that Toko is Genocide Jack.
Yep.
Because we think she might have a split personality disorder.
Hi, Owie.
Oh, Hina, how's Toko doing? Same as before, she won't come out, and she just keeps mumbling something about Genocide Jack. So I just left her there. You left her? My head was all swimmy, and I always get pretty I was getting pretty hungry. Yeah. Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna head back as soon as I'm done eating. Toko's not exactly pleasant, but I'm still worried about her. Speaking of which, what are you eating? Huh? A donut, of course! Of course? There's two things I'm sure God created. Outer space and donuts. Really? I bet Chihiro would have liked to eat more donuts. Maybe that was her one big regret. Oh, I should have tried to spend more time with her. Come to think of it, who did she spend the most time with? Yeah, she was a little bit strange. Didn't really hang out with the other girls much. It was like she was always trying to keep her distance from us. Actually, Sakura said something similar. She said that even though you and her invited Chihiro to exercise with you... Oh, this is Makoto. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Sakura said something similar earlier. She said that even though you and Chihiro invited her to exercise with you, she always refused.
Yeah, totally.
Yep, it's true. And it wasn't just us either. It was like, oh, fuck. Was she just shy? I don't know. She talked to the boys all the time. Isn't it kind of weird to be shy around your own sex, but totally fine with the opposite sex? Oh wait, maybe. Maybe she was used to guys spoiling her. The law says you can't judge a book by its cover, right? You think so? I never really saw her as that kind of girl.
Well then. Okay, to the library. The bathhouse.
Yep.
There's someone there?
Oh, there's something there. Huh. I guess not. Maybe I'm wrong.
To the library. More specifically to the archive.
In we go. There's a thick layer of dust on top of his desk. Maybe there's some kind of clue here. Guess not. Okay then, Makoto.
Focus on the lamp!
Huh? The lamp won't turn on. Oh, I see. It's not plugged in. The lamp's cord isn't long enough to reach the outlet from here. But the last time I saw it, it was definitely on, and it was definitely right here. Oh, that's right. The Akio is using an extension cord. But there's no extension cord here now. I wonder if... Library desk lamp.
Yup.
The extension cord was in there before.
Okay, so yeah. Genocide Jack file.
I want to take another look at the Genocide Jack's case file. I know it was around here somewhere. Huh? It's gone. Did someone take it out of the archive? But the only one who would do something like that... I can't think of anyone but Byakuya.
Ding dong bing bong.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for. The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
You ready for trial time, Dylan?
Oh lordy.
red door is right through here. So what you think's happening?
Ahem. So is everyone ready to what? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yeah, Toko's not here.
And Toko is...
You really don't remember?
Come on.
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How could I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of this class trial this time.
What are you gonna
Okie
do?
dokie, I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please.
And just like you said, a few minutes later, he reappeared, dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible, you're terrible.
Phew. So now everyone's here, right? Okay then, hustle onto the elevator and let's get this show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm and meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Who do you think it is?
Huh.
Just preliminary guess.
Well, the obvious choice would be Toko, but I don't know. I feel like it would be someone else. I don't think it's Byakuya, as weird as that sounds. It could be... like, the only person I could really suspect is Mondo, because that promise, but that's it. So I don't have a lot to go on. But yeah, so that's pretty much my two suspects, are Toko and Mondo, I guess.
We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
True.
Yep.
I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions, couldn't stop speculating. A steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop.
What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting?
Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Good, good. You're rip-raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well,
Okay, then let's get this show on the road. Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And now we don't have to talk.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Here we go. We're gonna save the data. We're gonna save it. We got this from talking with
Yep. Owie.
Owie all that time. Increase focus gauge by 2. Sure.
I think that's all we have. No, melodious voice.
Increases the damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during a bullet time battle. Okay.
Alright. Guess let's do this.
Ready, Dylan?
I guess so.
All rise. It's trial time.
let's begin with a basic explanation.
We don't need this. We know what it is. If you figure it out, you don't die, but the blackened does. But if you don't figure it out, everyone else dies.
Let's talk about the murder weapon.
Now let's do it.
Yep.
First, we have to make clear it was used to deliver the fatal blow. Okay, Dylan, remember, you have to tell me what to shoot.
Yep.
I'm not going to do anything unless you tell me to.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Correct.
According to
Indeed.
the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could
Shoot.
it have been?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, it's to
It
contradict.
needs to contradict.
Needs to contradict. My bad.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It
Okay.
appears it was
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blood?
I bet it was an iron
Nope.
pipe.
There it is. My God.
Fucking hero. You're such a dumbass.
Oof.
Can we agree that the
Why does he
object
just
that dealt
think
the fatal
iron pipe?
blow was the dumbbell found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yes! That's so creepy!
Hey, get over yourselves.
Right.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
And how... Okay. Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Let's learn about it.
Lines of white noise will appear.
Truth bullets will disappear if they hit these, so you want to think of them as obstacles. The way to keep this white noise from getting in your way, press the X button to attach a silencer. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim. Got it. Okay. So I'll shoot those without you telling me. But
Yeah.
Genocide Jack case file.
Okay.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Do it.
No, it's wrong.
Ta-da! You did it, Dylan.
I did it.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library.
I mean, did you find it or did Byakuya shove it in your
I
face?
guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
Byakuya shoved it in your face.
That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
God fucking damn it. Hifumi, could you just not be such a fucking creep?
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body.
Yeah, the body position.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
Is it the same
There's
way?
only one logical answer.
Yeah. It's just with a
It's
cord.
because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way.
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes And no,
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Because you're not the brightest bulb in the shed, buddy. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko, the answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right?
Ta-da.
Hangman's Gambit.
Oh yeah, this. Oh my god, I can't remember. What is that word? Oh my god. I don't actually remember the word.
It's a little derogatory.
Oh, schizo. Oh.
Now I understand.
I mean, schizo itself is a bit derogatory toward people with schizophrenia, but I think that it's just trying to get us across schizophrenia
Yeah.
in a short manner,
Yeah.
to be fair. Although you probably shouldn't call people schizo.
Yeah.
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows that Toko could have split personality
Her
it has to do
behavior.
with her behavior.
Yeah, her behavior changed.
I got it!
Bang bang.
You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead?
She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted.
The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, the sea of truth and a web of lies.
This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How? Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your
Poor
promise
Toko.
first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry, never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing.
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
Wow.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person you don't meet.
Oh god.
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second...
Well, hello there. Is it me you were hoping to see? Yes. What
Whoa.
the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
What happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
Jesus
There you
Christ. I was right.
Sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Her mouth is huge.
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Jesus.
So what are you thinking now?
Enough to convince you.
Oh no.
This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
Wow.
Motive? Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Status of the dead body.
Okay.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
Let me know what you want me to shoot, bruh.
Really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
What is that?
What more proof?
MO?
do you need?
Yeah. Oh, that's what that is.
Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, it's the MO, I think, is what you're supposed to shoot.
You say that. Perhaps if you had an when you compare the modus
Yes, it is.
operandi match. What more proof
Damn it, I
do
hit.
we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Try that again.
Yep.
You say that. But perhaps if you had an
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
No, it's wrong.
It doesn't match. Why doesn't it match, Dylan?
Are the methods of murder really exactly
Oh.
the same?
Oh yeah, she stabbed
I'm
her
not so
victims.
sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. It's the photos, the other Genocide Jack cases. Look at the necks and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
The victim's fatal injury.
Very much so.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
I mean, not if they were trying to cover it up, but I see what you mean.
One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking? So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here, you'll see a clear difference.
How what was used to suspend her.
My God! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I use my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case.
They're all males.
There's a pattern there, just waiting.
Pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Yeah, all
Let's
the victims
see.
were dudes.
Well, the pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is, I think I figured it out.
Chihiro was a girl.
My God!
Because Chihiro was her lover.
Yep.
Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo, bullseye, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada. It's, well, I don't want to
Blah,
read
blah,
these
blah,
names
blah,
again.
blah, 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 blah.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! And the loopy side
What?
of me just hates it! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
Okay.
My
Too
God.
much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect.
Fair point.
Smart.
Fair point.
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Kaya!
My God.
He's got her scissors.
She's fully equipped. That's right, so I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you.
Oh my God.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Well, I mean, of this one, yeah, but
The body
she's
really
done
was
other
suspended,
stuff.
right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, there is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases.
Byakuya. Is it Byakuya?
Here's my answer.
Boom.
Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
So what you thinking now, Dylan?
I still don't think it's him. Even though it's a
The reason he
coincidence.
pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Indeed it was. And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody's searched the locker rooms yet. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right?
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say?
Unless you're a massive horn dog, yes.
The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But how would you know?
Yeah.
How would you know that it was Chihiro?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
None of us knew that it was Chihiro yet.
Yeah.
New element has been added to non-stop debates. A truth flashback. You aim at a weak spot and hold down the triangle button. Then you'll memorize that weak spot. The memorized phrase can be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear. Okay, so basically, Now I can take one of those yellow things, copy it, and use that to shoot. So obviously that's what we're going to do here. It won't be that every time, though. So.
Yeah.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Yep.
But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it.
Okay,
It's a natural
Hifumi.
reaction for any guy.
No, only
The
creeps.
victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd take me with you.
Okay.
Fuck you, Hifumi. But, so you know what we gotta do?
Yeah.
So, you said Byakuya was acting
Copy
kind of
that.
weird before we found the body.
But he was acting... If you're presented with the opportunity, that's a natural...
The victim
Okay, right
was
there.
Chihiro, who was...
No.
Because before we found the body, how'd we know?
Yeah.
How'd we know?
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Not really.
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
Well, I guess we'll have to show him next time.
Next time.
We'll see you then. And we'll figure out who actually killed Chihiro.
Dun dun dun!
Poor little flower that they were.